What is going on, everybody? My name is Nico, and welcome back to another Pokemon BDSP competitive breakdown video. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday season. I've been away for a little while. I just posted the Dusk Noir as a threat video today, and that was the first video in like 8 days. And I just needed a break, kind of reevaluate stuff, enjoy the holidays with friends and family. But I'm back. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. And today we are going to be breaking down Manaphy, which is such a force in the Singles OU format. It is such a good Pokemon. So if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subscribed for more Pokemon content like this in the future. Let's get into it. So we are working with Manaphy today, and Manaphy is just such a great Pokemon because all of its base stats are 100. Like, it's just got great stats across the board, and it's a very, very powerful Pokemon. Now, it is worth noting that in the OU format, Drizzle is banned. Drizzle's banned, so that kind of mitigates how good Manaphy can be off the bat. However, even without the hydration ability being activated by Drizzle, it's still a very powerful Pokemon. It's still a very fun Pokemon to use, so I highly recommend checking it out. Now, I always preface these videos by saying this is not like the #1 way to use Manaphy. These are just ways to get your brain kind of rolling and to think about the different ways that you can use Manaphy in your own team building. So these are just things that I've tried and had success with and really enjoyed. So let's get into it. So the first one is the one that I use on my Garchomp team, which you guys can check out. I have a whole guide breaking down that Garchomp team. People really seem to like it, and it's a fun team to use, and that's where I first really tried to use Manaphy. And the big thing with this is it's a damage Manaphy. It's a damage Manaphy. Now, I always like to preface this with Life Orb. If you don't like the damage, the extra damage you take from using Life Orb, you can just rotate it with Expert Belt. The only trade-off is it has to be a super effective move to get the bonus damage. So that's something just to note. But Life Orb can be a little frustrating in certain circumstances because of that particular health drop at the end of your attack. Now, the moves. Tail Glow is a staple on Manaphy. Tail Glow is so good on Manaphy simply because it boosts your special attack by 3. That's a huge increase. So really what you want to do is swap Manaphy in and basically get them to rotate so you get a free Tail Glow turn. So, say they have an Infernape or something out, you're going to be able to take a hit from an Infernape because you're defensively very powerful, and then you're going to be able to get Tail Glow off, or they're going to rotate. Like, honestly, in 9 times out of 10 in the Infernape situation, they're going to U-turn into you, you're going to get your Tail Glow up, and you're going to be able to do big damage. That's what you're really looking for out of this particular Pokemon, is getting your Tail Glow up. However, it is still very powerful without the Tail Glow, so it's worth noting that you don't always need to Tail Glow when you go in, but it's just super nice. Ice Beam, super great because of, the big Pokemon in the format right now. You're looking at things like Garchomp, Gliscor, all that fun stuff. So, Latios, this covers that right there. Scald's super good for things like Infernape. You're going to be able to handle things of that nature. Energy Ball is nice as well. It gets this move, and it's super good for coverage stuff in terms of, like, if they throw out a Starmie is going to be able to carry Thunderbolt, and it's going to be a threat to your Manaphy. So, being able to carry Energy Ball is super nice as well. In terms of the EV spread, I like to go 4, 252, and 252. Obviously, you can throw the 4 in whatever other defensive category you want if that's something you'd rather do. For this particular Manaphy, I like to have the timid nature to give myself just a little bit of a speed advantage, and I just like that particular setup. However, you can rotate that out. Perhaps you want to run a more defensive Manaphy here. You're going to be able to switch that out for a calm nature and get that extra special defense, because that's going to be your main offender when it comes to things that are going to mess with Manaphy, is going to be the special attackers. So getting that extra special defense is going to be really big, and you'll see that here on my next Manaphy. Same spread here. It's a very similar spread. I have the defensive nature with a leftovers, and this is going to give you that opportunity to kind of buff Manaphy up, get some health back, do that kind of stuff. You can switch it out with a Citrus Berry, perhaps. If you're going for that Tail Glow situation, you take a hit, you go below half health, you use that Citrus Berry to get back up, you get your Tail Glow, and you're able to do big damage. That is an option that you're able to do. It just depends on the situation. So leftovers is the item that I have on this particular Manaphy. Again, same spread here, just the defensive nature. Very, very strong. Now, I've seen a couple people do this, and it's met with some interesting success rates. It's just weird because you're not getting the Tail Glow buff that makes Manaphy so powerful here. It does have very strong special attack to begin with, especially with a modest nature in this scenario, because you are Scarfed. You're just not getting that extra big damage. So, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, Scald, and Energy Ball, that's going to be really big for this particular Pokemon. You're going to be able to do a lot of damage. You're going to be faster than most Pokemon in the format. They're not going to be expecting you to be faster because Manaphy doesn't have the highest. It has like a 328 with a speed nature. Throw that on 328, and you're going to be still hitting very hard. So people aren't going to expect you to outspeed is the point of this particular set. So you're going to be able to get nice Okos here and there. Super, super fun. Moving on, we have the final set that you can run in choice specs. Again, this kind of makes up for that tail glow situation, running it with a timid nature. The EV spreads stay the same throughout in all the Manaphies that I use personally, and this makes up for that tail glow situation where you don't get that bonus, but the tail glow is just super nice. So I prefer running that over running a scarf or specs, but depending on the team, you could decide you wanted to run one of the choice items instead. Same setup, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, Scald, and Energy Ball, just to give you all those coverage options here. It's just a very strong Pokemon all around. Like I said, the Life Orb is the one that I use. The Leftovers is very close second in terms of the amount of fun that I have using Manaphy. The other two are just kind of there if you wanted to try and rotate something cheeky in. Now, this Pokemon has some weaknesses in the particular format right now. There are some Pokemon that are going to cause problems for good old Manaphy. So in terms of Pokemon that you're going to have problems with when you're using Manaphy is stuff like Magnezone. Magnezone is going to be a huge one because you have the electric damage, it's steel. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to Magnezone at all, and it's going to cause you some very serious problems. So Magnezone is a very big one in terms of stuff that's going to cause problems for Manaphy. Other stuff that can potentially cause problems that people aren't really thinking about are Latios and Latias, because they do have access to Energy Ball. And they are going to outspeed Manaphy unless you are running that Choice Scarf. You're going to lose the speed battle to a Latios or a Latias. So that is a potential threat. You're going to take a hit from Energy Ball, and that's going to do a lot. So that's something you really need to consider when you're going up against certain Pokemon. Another Pokemon that I mentioned that can cause problems for you is Starmie. Starmie is just a very fast Pokemon in general. Give that a speed nature right there. Let's see here, why can I not find what I'm looking for? There it is. Give it a speed nature. It's outspeeding Manaphy every single time and does have access to Thunderbolt. So this does cause some problems for Manaphy. A lot of these type of Pokemon are going to cause big issues for Manaphy. Just because of their speed or just their defensive nature, they're going to cause problems. Other Pokemon that could potentially cause problems that you're going to see, stuff like Gengar. Anything that is faster than Manaphy and has access to Thunderbolt is a big attacker like this. Like Gengar could potentially cause very serious problems because you boost that speed, give it that timid nature, and boom, 350 right there. It's going to cause problems. So that's just kind of the stuff you need to be aware of. There are a lot of Pokemon that you're going to be able to take hits from and get your tail glow off, whatever it may be with Manaphy, but you need to mitigate your damage intake if you're going to be doing a tail glow. If you're going for tail glow and you lose a speed battle, just get Manaphy out of there. That's the biggest thing to note. Now, in terms of Pokemon that are like good with Manaphy, you're going to want to have stuff that can rotate into the attacks that you're going to be taking. So for example, if you're looking for something that can take an electric hit, you know, any ground type's going to do. So Garchomp pairs very well with it. Garchomp works super well as Manaphy works well against Garchomp. But Garchomp's super nice because you can rotate into an electric attack and not take that kind of damage. Other stuff, Magnezone works very well with this Pokemon as well as works against it because you're going to be able to take those hits. Very nice Pokemon. You're able to just Volt Switch out if you know they're going to rotate due to the fact that you switch Magnezone in. So that's something that's very nice as well. You know, these kind of rotations are very big in the Manaphy play because it is a very strong Pokemon, but the setup for Tail Glow to really get rolling is something that can potentially hinder you. Now, another thing to mention when you're using Tail Glow, I did have a 252 EV spread. You're able to simply just, if you really didn't want to dedicate to this particular spread, you could lower this and set it in some defensive categories simply because you are getting that insane increase from Tail Glow. Just something to note there. You can rotate around. I just like the extra damage, but if you do that, you are going to be able to take a lot more hits and potentially keep Manaphy in longer. This works better with the leftover setup. Just something to note there. Manaphy also works super well with Infernape as a switch in. You know, people are going to try and use things of, the water type nature against Infernape, things like that. So having a Pokemon like Manaphy be able to switch into the water type attacks, or with Garchomp being able to switch into the ice type attacks, that's going to make you have an advantage here with Manaphy. Super nice as well. So just something to consider with team building and teammates. If you want to look at the team that I have with Manaphy here, you're going to be able to see I have Manaphy with Garchomp, Scizor, Gengar, Infernape, and Glaceon. Very strong team, very fun to use, and I do a full team breakdown, like I said earlier, if you want to check this particular team out, because it is a lot of fun to use and has been very popular on the channel here. But that pretty much covers everything I want to talk about in regards to Manaphy. Super fun Pokemon to use, very similar to Jirachi in terms of the stats. Both of them are 100 each on every stat, so kind of fun with both the mythical Pokemon you can get pretty early on in the game. Very fun in that regard, but all in all, super fun Pokemon. If you found the video entertaining and helpful, make sure you leave a like and smash that subscribe button for more Pokemon content out of me here in the near future. But like I said, that's it for this one, and I hope to see y'all in the next video.